everyone. This is Keshav from All Things Cricket, and today I've been joined by Jones. After a very long time, he's back again at our YouTube channel. Thank you, Jones, first of all, for taking out time out of your busy schedule. Also, because so much of cricket is happening these days, I know how difficult it is.
First of all, thanks a lot for inviting me into this podcast again. It's a pleasure to talk with you. I hope your YouTube channel is going with lots of success. I'm really happy to see the growth of this channel as well.
Thank you so much. Yes, the channel is going good, especially the cinema podcast which I do. They are doing great. Just last week I did a podcast on Malik, Fahad Fasil new film, and that video got like more than 11,000 views. So yeah, pretty thrilled about that. And today, as we speak on cricket, so much is happening. Like right from the end of WTC, like we had a little bit of gap, breathing space, and now suddenly there's India touring Sri Lanka. There's the 100 happening. West Indies just ended up playing two series, almost the end of the second series, and they'll be playing Pakistan. Pakistan just came from England, and then of course we have the India-England 5 Test matches, IPL, World T20. So much is happening. So first of all, Jones, how do you keep yourself updated with so much of information at once?
It's really tough, especially if you look at a few days. There are at least 8 matches happening together. If you look at the last weekend, we had men's 100, women's 100, 4 matches there. Then West Indies versus Australia was there. Then India versus Sri Lanka was there. Then the Ireland versus South Africa was there. Bangladesh versus Zimbabwe was there. So it was really tough. I followed only few matches like Sri Lanka versus India. Then I followed men's 100. Then women's 100, I followed few knocks of Shafali Verma, Jamima. Then when Indian players play, I used to watch that. Especially it is streaming in fan code as well. Then it's really tough to follow Zimbabwe versus Bangladesh, etc. Because if you look at every time there is match, so it's not in telecasted live in TV as well. I eagerly followed Ireland versus South Africa. It was a really good contest, especially ODI series. Ireland fought really hard. They showed some fighting effort. We have seen the rise of few Irish players. It's a promising sign for moving forward to them in the ODI Super League as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the fact that we have so much of cricket happening right now, even in the pandemic, I think that's such a relief for all the cricket fans, kind of a distraction from outside world. When we switch on cricket, everything else is off. Okay, coming straight on to now the ongoing series, India versus Sri Lanka. We of course we have got a lot of positives from this tour, especially in terms of how somebody like Surya Kumar Yadav has shown us that even though he didn't play international cricket as much until the age of 30, he has played enough in domestic cricket to be able to translate those performances at international level. And I think that's one of the reasons why he's been now sent in England for the Test squad. So, first of all, how happy are you to see him finally reaping the rewards for his hard work for so many years? Something like Michael Hussey, debuting so late in his career for Australia.
Yes, I'm really happy for Surya Kumar Yadav because if you look at the performance of Surya Kumar Yadav in last IPL, he deserved to go to Australia, but selectors didn't pick him, and he had a fantastic IPL season. Then he was picked in the England T20 series, and rest is history. He has been taking the game into next level, especially the way he plays spinners. Is something India lacked in middle overs for quite some time. If you look at after the 2016 T20 World Cup, the issue mainly was in middle overs. Who can take down the spinners? And the answer for that is Surya Kumar Yadav right now in T20 format. So I really hope Surya Kumar Yadav performs really well in the T20 World Cup as well. It's going to be a big factor. Surya Kumar Yadav, Rishabh Pant, and Hardik Pandya. This trio in middle overs and death overs, if they can fire, then India can do wonders in the T20 World Cup because 4, 5, 6. If these three guys can get going, I don't think any team has this firepower like India in T20 format. Apart from West Indies, West Indies has Nicholas Puran, Kieron Pollard, and Russell. Other than that, I don't. Even if you look at England, England has issues that around. They are still finding a solution for the finishing role. Morgan
Yeah,
is not in good touch. Only Bairstow at number four, who can be trusted right now.
yeah,
Livingston has been doing well, but he is inexperienced. We need to wait how
mm,
he performs well in Asian conditions or UAE as well. So if you consider any team, if you look at Australia, Australia has issues in middle order and finishing. Apart from Maxwell, they don't have much choices to make
mm,
out. New
yeah,
Zealand has been coming through very well, but still they are getting their number six is a big
mm,
issue. Jimmy Neesham need to be more
yes,
consistent, or Colin de Granholm need to be consistent. And right
mm,
now, only Glenn Phillips has been showing that X factor also. Yeah,
mm,
India and West Indies has that X factor in middle order with Rishabh Pant, Suryakumar Yadav, and Hardik Pandya. If
yeah.
these three can fire and get going in the World Cup, so India can do wonders.
Yeah, I think another aspect which I really wanted to touch about India versus Sri Lanka is, of course, there are positives, but then there are some other concerns as well. Uh, One of them was, of course, Manish Pandey not being able to, really make the best of his chances. So, do you think now it's probably more or less over for Manish Pandey in terms of coming back into that 11? Because first of all, uh, the kind of players now that we have got in the circuit, more contemporary and upgraded players for T20 cricket. Do you think Manish Pandey plays actually a bit old school sort of cricket? So other batsmen are way too talented, so he might not get a chance again.
Yes, I think it will be tough for Manish Pandey. If you look at the ODI scheme of things, there is
Yeah.
Iyer is there, then KL Rahul is there, Rishabh Pant is there, Suryakumar
Mm.
Yadav is there. Only two spots are left in the middle order, four
Yeah.
and five. Six
Mm.
is by Hardik Pandya, number seven by Jadeja. Then top three is by Dhawan, Rohit, and Virat Kohli. So only two spot and four guys are there. Right now, Iyer and KL Rahul
Mm.
has fixed that spot. I really think that Rishabh Pant and Suryakumar Yadav need to wait for some time because these two guys has been performing really well.
Yeah.
So it will be tough for Manish Pandey in ODI format and T20s. I don't think he has a chance because
Mm.
he's better suited in top three, and we don't have any space in top three. If you look at even Prithvi Shah is also coming through the
Mm.
ranks as well, so it will be
Mm.
getting more tougher for Manish Pandey to make out into the playing 11. Even he
Mm.
didn't find a spot in the first T20 versus Sri Lanka as well.
Yeah.
If he can't find a spot there, then I don't think when will Manish
Yeah.
Pandey get a place in T20 format. So it is almost over in T20 format, but ODIs anything can happen. But
Mm.
right now it's tough because there are four guys who are playing for two spot. So it will be tougher for
Yeah.
Manish Pandey to get into the side.
Yeah, I think it's kind of like how Alex Hales didn't find a place in the England setup even after the whole team was swabbed. If he doesn't find a place, then Manish Pandey, I don't think he's getting back. And also his IPL performances are also not that great, that up to the mark that will get him the spot in Indian team. But okay, so. The Shikhar Dhawan conundrum now. Before the England series, Shikhar Dhawan was not really considered as one of the top choices for your T20 11 because KL Rahul and Rohit were opening, and then Kohli said I'll be opening with Rohit. So since KL Rahul is in the mix and probably up the ladder against Shikhar Dhawan, do you think Shikhar Dhawan has now done enough during the IPL and now in this series to be back in the contention and maybe start in the first 11 in that first game in T20 World Cup?
I think it will be tough for Shikhar Dhawan to start in the play 11 because even if Virat Kohli is not opening, there is KL Rahul.
Yeah,
KL Rahul has sealed that spot. Apart from
yeah,
that England series, he was dropped, but I still think it was unfair to him because he was sitting in the bench for almost 3-4 months without getting
yeah,
any game, then directly come into the T20 series and not doing well. And after that game time, whenever he got that opportunity, he did well in the ODI series. We have seen how well KL Rahul played in that ODI series against England. So there was some glimpses of all KL Rahul. And in
Yeah.
IPL, I still believe KL Rahul and Rohit Sharma should be opening for India, followed by Virat
Hmm.
Kohli, Surya Kumar Yadav, Rishabh Pant, Hardik Pandya, Jadeja. This is my top seven. But I
Okay.
don't think Shikhar Dhawan will be finding a place. It will be really tough for Shikhar Dhawan.
You gave your first seven, so why don't you give the whole 11 for your first game in World T20? Who will be the other four bowlers?
Bhuvaneshwar will be starting along with Jasprit Bumrah. Spin department is slightly tougher question because we have
Hmm.
Varun Chakravarti, Rahul Chahar,
Yeah.
then UC Chahal is there. So
Yeah.
maybe one or two can play. If they are playing only one, then they'll be adding extra seamer. There is Siraj is
Hmm.
there, Natarajan is there, is
Yeah.
there. So either one of them will be playing.
Do you think even though Sri Lanka lost that series, there's still enough raw material for Mickey Arthur and other people to actually, juggle with, and in coming years they can actually build a good team out of this raw talent?
Yes, there are few promising talents who came. We all know Hasaranga, Avishka
Yeah.
Fernando, then Dashim Shanaga, etc. But the way Chamika, Karunaratna, Asalenga played in this series, it's a promising sign from them. Then Rajapaksha, who has been
Yeah.
in the reckoning for a long period. So there is promise for Sri Lanka. They just and the performance of Chamira as well. He has been really,
Yeah.
really bowling with real heat through this
Yeah.
year. In the West Indies, we have seen in England as well. He bowled so well, and in the India series as well. So it's
Hmm.
a promising sign moving forward. And he is more experienced as well. He is not 23 or
Yeah.
24. He is almost 28, 29. So it's a promising sign moving forward in the 2023 World Cup. Then we all know. I really hope they brings back Nehru Kumara. He is another
Hmm.
bowler who
Yes.
can hit the deck so hard. So I hope he'll be coming back very soon. So there are promises for Sri Lanka, and they give a tough fight for India as well. If you look at
Yeah.
the second, they could have won the ODI series as well. If
Absolutely.
Deepak Chahar, if there
Hmm.
was in the batting effort from Deepak Chahar, they could have won that ODI series. So
Yeah.
they overcome lots of aspects, especially three of them has been already banned due to the biobubble
Yeah.
breach in England. So it's a promising sign moving forward. I hope like Gunatilaga comes back, Kushal Mendix comes back. These are youngsters who can do well for Sri Lanka in future.
Hmm.
So I hope Sri Lanka brings back them, not giving harsh punishment like Australia
Hmm.
did to Steve Smith or Warner, etc. They give almost 1 year ban. So I hope that does not happen. I hope really they comes back at least Gunatilaga, Dickwella, etc. They are very
Yeah.
good players in T20 format and limited overs. So
Yeah.
Sri Lanka should be back in them and bringing back them. Everyone can make mistakes, especially these pandemic time biobubble breach can happen. It's not easy for players to be in the biobubble for 1 year. And like it will be happening somewhere around. So we need to look at that aspect as well. They are not machines as well. Everyone make mistakes, even machines as
Yeah.
well. So we can't blame players too much, especially these biobubble. It's not easy to sit in the hotel for 24 hours, just
Yeah.
go and play, then practice. It's not easy. So we need to understand that as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I also felt that even in England, there were glimpses that Sri Lanka shown, even though they lost all the games, but still there was something to, look at, which was promising. And I think the kind of coach Mickey Arthur is, he'll surely be very excited to work with this new crop of talent coming in now. I just hope that, they give a longer run now to Dasun Shanaka as a captain, because this has been a problem with Sri Lanka for so long that, and not just Sri Lanka, teams who are struggling in general, like for example Pakistan also, uh, teams who are not given a consistent run with the captaincy, or the management. If you're not giving enough time to a captain to create a culture, and to create some, just like how New Zealand and India are successful because Kane Williamson and Kohli has been around for so long. They have been given enough time to bring a culture to the team that seeps through not just in the international level, but also the domestic circuit. Look at the fitness of Indian cricketers now in IPL as well. So, do you think that one of the reasons behind downfall of teams like Sri Lanka or Pakistan, or even for that matter, South Africa, has been inconsistency in captain and management coming in?
Yes, we need to back players. It's the bigger issue
Yeah.
for Sri Lanka than Pakistan as well. We have seen, if you look at Pakistan's T20 dynamic, every series they are having new players.
Yeah.
It's not going to work every time. Maybe they can perform for 1 or 2 series, but again, if they don't do well, then they'll be pushed back and they'll be bringing back other guys who did well in the
Yeah.
domestic season. So it's not the way to go, especially the amount of cricket everyone playing. They can give fair run at least 7 6 months. If you give a 7 or 8 month to a player, they'll be playing at least 20 matches. So we can recognize whether they are in good touch or whether they can perform in
Yeah.
an international level or whether they need to go again in domestics or playing county or something like that to improve the game. So every team should be backing like that, and the same with the captaincy as well. If you look at Dasham Shanaka, he won the T20 series in Pakistan in 2018
Yeah.
or 19 something. Then
Yeah.
that was mainly because most senior players was in there. Then
Hmm.
after that few series, they went with other captain. Then Karunaratna came. Then Kushal Pereira came. Everyone
Yeah.
came. So there wasn't fair run to each captain. You need to
Hmm.
back players as well as captain as well. It's not if you look at, if you give Virat Kohli or Rohit Sharma a team like Zimbabwe, maybe they can't produce results.
Yeah.
Maybe they will be losing the teams
Hmm.
matches. So it's not that Sri Lanka has Rohit Sharma or Virat Kohli or Bumrah or
Yeah.
even Steve Smith or anyone to produce consecutive wins or win series in England. It's not easy. If you look at, I don't know, I don't think any team has won in England for many years in ODIs
Yeah.
especially. And they went to Sri Lanka went to England and they lost the series. Then suddenly they changed the captain. And they lost the series against Bangladesh. Bangladesh is also a very good side at home.
Yeah.
If you look at his the stats of Bangladesh in Bangladesh, they
Hmm.
haven't they haven't lost a series for almost 3 4 years in ODI
Yeah.
format. So they are a very good side. So Sri Lanka need to know these things and back right
Hmm.
players and back right captain. Hopefully, Dashim Shanaka can be a longer period captain because he has the ability with his all-round effort. We have seen his batting effort, and he's a capable bowler as well. So it's I really hope Shanaka leads them for a longer run, at least for 2022 T20 World Cup.
Yeah.
It's not if Sri Lanka might not qualify into the 2021 in Super 12. Maybe anything can happen in T20
Yeah.
format, but they should be continuing with Shanaka and still till 2022 T20 World Cup. They should be given that fair run and look where Sri Lanka stands as a team.
Yeah, I think if I'm not wrong, Shanaka was actually declared as the captain before the tour of West Indies in T20 format, and due to visa issues, he couldn't go.
Yes.
And then in England, they announce Kushal Pereira. I mean, it's so funny that it's kind of like Sri Lanka people are sitting on a breakfast and they have nothing better to do, so they are like, okay, let's change the captain. So they keep changing the captain every series for fun. So hopefully now Shanaka will be given a longer run. Okay, this is an interesting comment, Jones. What was your reaction when "Happy Birthday Jones" was trending on Twitter on your birthday?
No, I didn't deserve this thing because I used to just copy paste these news from website. There is lots of website. I should thank these journalists for getting these followers, etc. So I don't think I deserve these things.
No, but still, I mean, people love you, love your work. So I'm sure, being your birthday, being trending on Twitter, I think that's something which very less people get the privilege of having a trend named on them. So when was your birthday, by the way? Recently, isn't it?
July 18th.
July 18th. So you're just a week after me. I was July 11th. So, it's good to have another Cancerian in the house with me.